Shalom, 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 Yasharala. This your boy, Brother Samuel, back at you with another quick edifying video, right? And today's topic is going to be called The Finish Line is Near, right? The finish line is near, right? First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem Mashiach Yahushai, Bahashem Rachach Radash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, right? And the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone from Tahar on down, who have ruled well through the Spirit, right, and fed the sheep in these last days. Another double honors to all the apostles and elders who have paved the way for this truth to come out to the four corners of the earth, right? So like I said, today's topic is going to be called The Finish Line is Near, right? And we got to understand, that, we right at the cusp of finishing this race, man. And we got to hold fast, man, and stay strong in these last days, man. Right? We see what's going on. We see the prophecies happening. Everything is starting to play itself out, man. And we got to just make sure that we hold fast, to the faith, man, and stay strong in these last days, right? Let's get this real quick. Let's go to the book of Hebrews, right? Go to the book of Hebrews, 12, start at verse number 1. And it reads, "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with the patience the race that is set before us." Right? And so that's our mission, man, is to run that race that's set before us, man, that Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai has set for us, through our lot, man. That's what we got to do, right? And we got to run it, and we got to run it to our best ability in these last days, man. We can't faint in these last days, man. We got to stay strong and continue what we're doing, right? It says, "Looking unto Yahushai, the author and the finisher of our faith," right? So just imagine at the end of the race, man, you see the finish line, you see Yahushai there, man. And that's what we running towards. That's what we running. We trying to run this race towards, Lord's will, we'll be able to make it, right? So that we'll be able to, be and see Yahushai at the end, man. That's what we're out here. That's that finish line. That's that mark that we're looking for, right? And it says, "Who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High," right? So just like Yahushai finished his race, right, and left us that example, we got to make sure that we're doing the same, right? That we finish this race that was set before us, man, right? So let's get another one, right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 9:24, and it reads, "Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain," right? So what we got to understand, that there's a lot of people that's going to be running this race, man, right? But we want to be those ones that finish this race, right? Because those that finish this race, hey, they're going to receive the prize, man, right? Though there be many that run, right, there's only going to be a few that's going to receive that prize at the end of the day, man, right? And we got to run this race, like we want to finish first, man, right? So we can't half step, man. You got to run, and you got to run like you are trying to win this race, man, right? So, and that's all about enduring, right? Enduring in these last days, man. That's why they call this, they liken this to a race, man. And you got to make sure that you're running, and you're running accordingly, right? Let's go to the book of Philippians, right? Philippians 2 and verse number 16, and it reads, "Holding forth the word of life, that I may rejoice in the day of Hamashiach, that I have run, that Slakia, that I have not run in vain, neither labored in vain, right? So the ultimate thing is, you don't want to run this race, right? And then you come up short, man. You don't want to run this race and then you're going to stop in between and not do it, man. If you're going to run this race, you got to run it to completion, man, right? You got to ask the Lord to give you that strength in these last days. You got to ask the Lord to help strengthen you, to help you to stay diligent, help you to stay focused, man, right? You should be praying that, every day, man, that the Lord keeps you focused, helps you to stay diligent, help you to stay, to keep enduring and to endure, until the end, man, right? You got to just keep going for this thing, right? You got to be like, let's get this example, right? This is the book of Mark, chapter 9 and verse 24, right? This is Mark 9, and I'll start at 23. It says, Yahushua said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth, right? And that's what we got to do, man. We got to make sure that our faith, right? Because our faith is ultimately like our booster in these last days, man, right? So it says, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believe. And straightway the father of the child cried out, right? So this father, his child was sick, right? And he asked Yahushua to heal him, right? To heal his child, but Yahushua, he didn't go and see the child, right? He asked, do you believe that, that this will happen, right? And this is what the man says. It says, and straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help thou my unbelief, right? And that's what we got to, pray for too, ultimately too, for the Lord to help us in our unbelief and strengthen our faith in these last days. Right? Because sometimes, there can be doubt put in your mind, man, but you got to stay strong. You got to ask the Lord to help your unbelief and your faith in these last days and keep you strong, man, so that you can endure to run this race and to finish it. Right? Let's go back to Philippians. We're going to go to 3 and 14, right? And it reads, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High in Hamashiach Yahushai, right? So that mark or that prize, right, is ultimately to be called as a chosen of the Most High, man, right? That's what we're looking for, man. That's the prize that we're looking for, right? To endure in the last days and to make it, right? So that we can be called that good and faithful servant, right? That good and faithful servant, man, who has obeyed his master, man, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, right? And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that we have made it and endured, right? That's ultimately this race that we're running for, man, right? So that we, ultimately can be called obedient, right? And the children of the Most High, right? Let's go to Revelation, right? 1 and verse number 3. And it reads, it says, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, right? So ultimately, one of the things that helps us in these last days to endure, right, and to run this race steadily is to know the prophecies. And the only way you know the prophecies is to be able to read, right, and ultimately get that understanding that Yahweh Bashem Rashai has given us. That way we know, where we are, and that's in the stretch of the race, right, and ultimately, through prophecy, because we know that the spirit of prophecy is Yahweh Shai. So we know, right, that there's a few more things, a few more hurdles left in this race, man, right? You're going to have Jacob's trouble, right? That's coming up. You're going to have that that MO to the T to the B, right? Or that C hip that they're going to be trying to push, right? You got World War III that's going to pop off, right? And you're going to have those ICBM missiles that's going to be headed right here towards Babylon, man, to destroy this place, man. And we know right before that happens, guess what? Yahweh Shai and the angels are coming back, and they're coming back to deliver those who have been chosen, and ultimately who will be saved, right? When when you finish that race is when you ultimately on that in the chariots, man, or the so-called UFOs, right, of the Lord, right, the chariot of the Lord, right. So, but it says for the time is at hand, right, and that's what we got to understand, by reading these prophecies, at what time we're at right now, and we know ultimately through through reading, and the Lord has blessed us with that understanding, right? That guess what? That we know we living in the last days, and we know the time that we're living in, and we know, what's going to happen, right? And that's why we always bring this one out too. Let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11. It says, "In that knowing the time, now that it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed." Right? So we understand that we are getting closer and closer. And the thing about it is, a lot of our people, they don't understand. They don't understand how close we are to the end times, right? They're just like Yahushua said, in the days of Noah, man. Our people are just drinking and being merry, right? Giving into marriage and marriage and guess what? And just like in the days of Noah, right? So shall the days come, paraphrasing, of the Son of Man when he comes, right? It's going to catch people off guard, man. Just like in the days of Noah, man. And that first death, right? Now you're going to have to ultimately catch that second death, which is the lake of fire, right? It says, "The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light," right? And that's what we got to do, man. Right? We got to cast away all this, the folly and the distractions of this world, man. We all going through stuff. We all got life, crises and things that we got to deal with. But ultimately, we got to stay focused on what Yahweh Bashem Shai has set forth for us, right? Which is to usher in, right, the kingdom of our King of Kings and Lord of Lords, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, man, right? And our new world, right? Which is ultimately going to be the world of Jacob, man. Jacob is the beginning, right? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows, right? This is the book of Ephesians 4 and 14, and it reads that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about in every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive, right? So ultimately, we were taken out of this the ways of this world, man, when we got this understanding of this truth, right? And we can't go back into the folly of this world. We can't go back into the ways and the sorceries of each of our oppressors, man, right? Who have taught us all this religion, who's taught us all these folly days, right? Trying to celebrate, stuff like that they got coming up, right? All that stuff. Ultimately, we gotta untangle ourselves, right, from the foolishness of this world and stay focused, right, on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Let's go to the book of Acts, right? Book of Acts, chapter 20, verse number 24, and it reads, "But none of these things move me, neither count I my life dear unto myself, so that I might finish my course with joy, and the ministry which I have received of the Lord Yahweh Shai to testify the gospel of the grace of the Most High," right? And let's read this in I believe it's the G&T, right? Let's go into the G&T. It says, "But I reckon my own life to be worth nothing to me. I only want to complete my mission and finish the work that the Lord, Yahweh Shai, gave me to do, which is to declare the good news about the grace of the Most High, right? And that's ultimately, what we trying to do, man. Is to, we got to count our life as nothing, because our whole mission is to make sure that we get this gospel preached to the four corners of the earth, like Yahweh Shai told us to do, right? I believe it's in Matthew 24, right? That's what we out here to do. That's the race that we're trying to do, right? Just like we're trying to race to, push this truth and push this the gospel and good news to our people, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Hey, guess what? The devil knows too, and he's trying to run his race against us, right? This is Revelation 12:12. I bring this out all the time too. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." Right? So now just think of you trying to run that race, and now you got somebody chasing behind you, trying to stop you from finishing, this course, man. Right? And that's when we gotta have especially this faith in the last days, man, that the Lord will keep us and keep us on our path and on our mission to finish this race in these last days, right? Let's go to the book of Galatians. Book of Galatians 6 and verse number 9. And it reads, "Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." Right? And that's the thing. We got to make sure that we don't faint, right? We too close to the finish line to faint and pass out, or to stop and just give up, man. We got to continue this race, man. Right? If you got to crawl, right? If you got to slow walk, whatever it is, man, you got to finish this race, man. You got to finish this race, and you can't give up in these last days, man, because we too close, man. You too close, brothers and sisters, to give up, especially to the cares of this world and all this other stuff, man. Just know, right, that at that end is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach waiting for you, man. And it's up to you, right? And through the power of Yahweh Shai to make it to the end of that race, man. Right? Let's go to the book of James. Right? James chapter 1 and verse number 12. And it reads, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which Yahweh Shai have promised to them that love him." Right? So ultimately, that end, at the end of the race, is that crown of life, man. Right? When you get to enter into the chariots, right, of the Most High, right, which the people call the UFOs. And ultimately, that's when you're going to receive your crown, because when you get there, that's going to be the salvation, man. Right? When you're going to be beamed up right before those ICBM missiles hit this place to destroy this place, man, and turn this place into a lake of fire, man. Right? Those who are chosen are going to get beamed up, man. And that's when you know that you have completed your race, that you endured until the end. And then you're saved, right? But not until then, right? Let's go to the book of Hebrews, right? Hebrews chapter 10 and verse number 23. And it reads, "Let us hold fast to the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised." Right? So we got to hold fast. There's so many distractions in this world, especially in these last days, with knowing that the devil has but a short time, right? He's going to throw every just wrench and thing that he can do, man. Just think about, what is that? Mario Kart, man, right? How you got King Koopa just throwing all these different things, got oil slicks, got all these different things trying to stop you from finishing your race, man, right? But you got to hold fast, man. You got to hold fast, to the profession with, and especially with your faith and your unbelief and your belief in these last days, man. You got to ask the Lord to help your unbelief, right? Ultimately in these last days to help you to hold fast to the mission, which is completing, right? Completing this race, right? Into the finish line. Let's go to 2 Timothy 4 and verse number 7, right? Because ultimately we want to say, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith, man. And that's what we ultimately are looking for, man, right? To ultimately to finish, man. To finish my course, to finish that race, man. Right? We too close to the end. We can see the finish line, right? We just gotta continue on, right? So that we can finish this course. Let's go to, because ultimately that's, like I was saying, that's gonna be, salvation, man, when you finish the course, right? This is Matthew 24 and verse 13, right? It says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved, right? And that's what's at the finish line is our salvation, right? At the end of everything is at the end of the race is salvation, and that's what we're ultimately looking for, man. Right? Everybody wants to be saved, right? When you look at Christianity, everybody wants to be saved. They think they saved now, but you're not saved until ultimately the end. It says but he that shall endure until the end, right? So when you end the race, that means you got to finish and complete the race. It says the same shall be saved, right? Let's get this. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes 9 and verse number 11. It says, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to the man of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all, right? But understand that, hey, this race is not to the swift, man, right? Ultimately, throughout the scriptures, it talks about having patience. It talks about waiting on the Lord, right? So it's not a fast race, man. You got to endure and you got to be patient, right? You got to be patient. So sometimes you might have to walk in this race. Sometimes you might have to crawl in this race, right? When your faith is not the where it should be, man. But ultimately, you should be praying to get your faith back up so you can get back on your feet and continue to start to run again and run at a steady pace, man. Right? You don't want to run too fast and then now you've lost your energy. You run out of breath and lost your energy, man. Right? But you want to get a steady pace and you want to keep going, man. Right? So you can be unmovable in this thing, man. Let's get the book of Isaiah. Right, let's get to the book of Salakia. The book of Isaiah, right, chapter 40 and verse 31. And it reads, it says, but they that wait upon Yahweh Shem Yahshai shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. And that's ultimately, what we're looking for, right? And this is the kind of power that we're going to get, right, when we get our glorified bodies, right? But this is ultimately the mentality that we should be thinking about, man, right? Because it says we got to wait, we got to be patient, we got to wait upon Yahweh Shem Yahshai, who is going to renew our strength, man. We're going to put the strength in us to keep going, right? That we shall be able to run and we won't be weary. We're not going to be tired, right? We're going to be able to walk and we're not going to be able to faint. There's going to be a lot of people fainting in these last days, right? Because they didn't wait upon the Lord, right? And they didn't ultimately, ask the Lord to give them the strength to keep enduring in these last days, man. And that's what we got to keep doing. So we can't faint in these last days. We got to keep enduring. Remember the mission that you out here to do, right? Stay focused, right? Let's get one more. I'm going to close it out, right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 11, right? It says, "Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man taketh thy crown." So ultimately, at the end at the race, right, you want to finish, and you want to finish first, man. And finishes first is completing the mission that the Yahweh Bashim Messiah has ultimately given to you, right? And that's ultimately right now to wake up our people, right? To understand who they are, right? To warn the people of what's to come, the prophecies, right? To have the faith and the patience, right? In these last days, man, because you don't want somebody else to take your crown because you didn't finish the race, man. So you got to keep enduring, right, in these last days, and you got to stay grounded, stay focused, and remember, right? Let's get this real quick, right? It's the book of Matthew, right? I kind of quoted it earlier. Matthew 6:33, it says, "But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." So ultimately, we got to make sure that we keep our focus, right? And we focus on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua in these last days, that he'll keep us and strengthen us in these last days, right? And ultimately, Revelation 14 and 12, and it reads, "Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai," right? So ultimately, we gotta make sure that we're holding fast to our mission, right? So that no man can take our crown, man. And we gotta do the works and do to the best of our ability in these last days, right? And keep the faith, man. The faith is gonna keep you enduring in these last days, man. Right? So like I said, the finish line is close, man. It's near. And we just gotta make sure that we stay focused on that prize. And that prize, right? Right at that finish line, it's a Mashiach Yahushai, man, with the crowns, man. The crowns of life. And that's what we're looking for. Right? So with that, I hope this has been edifying, right? To you brothers and sisters, right? To you, first and foremost, I just want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Kahala Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakak Radash. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, right? Stay strong. Stay strong in these last days. Keep praying for one another, man. We got to keep praying for each other to stay strong and stay diligent, stay focused in these last days, right? For the Lord to give us that boost that we need to keep enduring in these last days, right? Keep reading, right? Keep reading, keep praying, keep fasting, keep praying for one another, right? And stay focused, man, right? And with that, shalom.